Hello and welcome to BikeWale, and today we're going to talk about the new TVS iQube, a scooter that we're really excited about at BikeWale. Now, the iQube has been launched in three trims or three versions. You've got the standard, the S and the ST with differential pricing for the three. Different battery capacities, etc., and we will get to that in the later part of the video. The standard starts at a little under 1 lakh rupees, and what we're going to do in this video is tell you how the standard compares with the older iQube, then how the standard compares with the S, and how the S compares with the ST, so you can make a better buying decision on which version suits you better. Now, the reason we're excited about the TVS iQube is because in our book, it is one of the better EV scooters or e-scooters that you can buy in the country. It is almost like an electric version of the Jupiter, which means there is no new flanged things or approach to doing things. So it is a traditional scooter in the sense when it comes to ergonomics, when it comes to just the basic mechanicals, how the ride is, how the handling is, how the braking is. Everything is similar to what you expect or what you're used to in a regular scooter. So if you are looking at converting people or taking people from IC scooters to electric, the iQube just blends in really well instead of being something that is completely different, completely unique, because that takes some time getting used to. So I spent some time riding the iQube, and just the way how the display is or was in the older one, everything around that scooter felt like a normal scooter. And so now let's tell you what's the difference between the standard and the old one. Now, the difference between the standard new iQube and the older one, well, the difference isn't a lot. Their styling is essentially the same, the weight is the same, the seat height is the same, the mechanicals are the same. The only real difference is in the battery pack. The earlier iQube had 3 battery packs, the new one has 2. The earlier one had 18,000 plus cells in each battery pack. This one has 21,000, and the difference is that this allows to improve or reduce the charging time while giving you a slightly higher range. But otherwise, the two scooters are identical, and that's not a bad thing at all, because like we just said at the start of the video, the iQube is one of the better electric scooters that you can buy. As for the standard, in terms of charging, you will get a 650 watt and a 950 watt charger bundled with the scooter. There is no home charger that comes with the scooter. You have to buy it separately. And if you plug into your regular home connection, you're looking at about a charging time of up to 5 hours, 0 to 80%. With the 650 and the 950 watt, this time comes down. I think it's about a little over 4 hours with the 650 and a little over 2 hours with the 950. Details you should see here, the exact charging times, and this is 0 to 80% of the thing. And now let's tell you what's the difference between the standard and the S. Now, the big difference between the standard new iQube and the S is, of course, the price. The standard is 98,500 or thereabouts, and the S costs 1,09,000. So that's almost a 10,000 rupee difference between the two. Now, mechanically, nothing changes. There is no difference in terms of the battery pack. There's no difference in terms of the the weight or the charging time. All of that is the same for the two scooters. Even the riding range, it's 100 kilometers for both. When you're riding in eco, drops down to 75. If you ride it in power, top speed is just a little under 80 kilometers per hour. So that all of that remains the same between the standard and the S. So the extra that you're paying for is essentially for the instrumentation that's on board. On the standard, it's a 5-inch screen. On the S, it's a 7-inch screen. None of these screens are touchscreen, but there is no on-scooter accessibility on the standard, so you have to go via the app if you want to make some changes or go through the menu there. But here on the S, you have a joystick that you can use, and go through the functions. Now, in terms of features of the two screens, you get essentially the same things. You have Bluetooth connectivity, you have turn-by-turn navigation via the app, you can get over-the-air updates, and on the S, then on the bigger screen, you also have music connectivity that's there, and something called the incognito mode, which we haven't figured out yet, but we will, I guess, when we get the scooter or when we read up more about it. But that's essentially the difference. You're paying almost 10,000 rupees more for a bigger screen and easier accessibility to that screen. Otherwise, the two scooters are, or two trims are essentially the same. There's also a difference between the S and the ST in terms of there are some new features that are being developed for the ST, and that will come out probably when the scooter is officially launched. Bookings are on, but the scooter's not, the prices are still not out for the ST. These three features are cruise control, you have tire pressure monitoring system, and keyless ignition that TVS is working on for the ST version of the iQube. The other differences between the S and the ST are in terms of riding range. The S in normal will go to about 100 kilometers, this will go up to 140. And then in terms of top speed, the S does 78 and this would do 82 kilometers per hour. So not a big difference in top speed, but the range there is a big difference there. The one thing that was different between the Standard and the S, which I missed out saying earlier, is that the S gets adjustable rear suspension, and that gets continued on the ST as well. So this is how the S, ST and the Standard pan out. You've got the Standard at 98, a little over. You've got S at 1.09, and then you've got the ST, which will be more expensive naturally. And in terms of features, the big difference, of course, is the screen. You've got 5-inch on the Standard, you've got 7 on the S, but you can access the one on the S via toggle. And then when you move to the ST, you've got the same or a similar size 7-inch screen, but you can access it via touch. So that's the difference. And of course, the big play for the ST is the longer range, higher top speed, and quicker charging time. What the ST is going to be priced at, will it be as luring as the Standard and S on the iQube? That we will find out once we have the prices. But for now, this is what the iQube stands for. And like we said at the start, we like the iQube. It's a very normal electric scooter, if there's a term like that. And that's what we like about it. And now in its new version, it just seems like a better proposition than it is. So that's it from us. Thank you for watching.